Hello, everybody. I'm Pearlo Wisdom, and you're watching NHL Nightly. Yeah, I've been a little under the weather the last couple of days. I don't know, I had to go get some blood work and stuff. Feeling good now. Getting back on the old Pearlo ways. So we're watching the Edmonton Oilers Dallas game. We got the third period to go. And I'm going to be talking about just a whole bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about in the NHL that has happened as of late. Go over here to my favorite pro hockey rumors. Some of the things Hurricanes are allowing Don Waddell to speak to other teams. Until recently, the pending expiring contract for head coach was generating headlines. The file was taken off, and of course, they signed him. 5-year contract. It appears Waddell's contract is set to draw some attention. Waddell's deal is to expire at the end of the league year, and the Hurricanes have granted him permission to speak to other teams. But he always does that. Dondon always does stuff like that. So that doesn't really surprise me at all. Let me get you guys up on it. Let's see if we can find this on the. Condon always does that. He's always said you can always go find if you want to go somewhere else. And the only reason why I could see this possibly happening is because Waddell is the lowest paid general manager in the land. What the heck? I'm not coming in very well all of a sudden. Let me go check that out. I'm not coming in very well all of a sudden. Oh, actually, it's not too bad. So he's the lowest. Hey, everybody, whoever just came in. Yeah, Don Waddell is only making $500,000 a year. When he signed on with Carolina, he signed on for $500,000 a year. And now they're saying you can go talk elsewhere. So I don't know if all of a sudden money is going to be an issue with him or not. But yeah, if it is, he'll probably be moving on if they can if there's another taker out there. What 2 teams are looking for general managers right now? And I have to look at that. Teams are looking for general managers. Help me out there in the chat, you guys. Let me bring up Cap Friendly here so I can jog my memory. He would be an interesting pickup. I mean, he made some pretty good moves there with Carolina. I would definitely consider it if I was a team that was looking for a general manager. Which teams are? Not Minnesota, not Tampa Bay, not Vegas, not Philadelphia, not Buffalo yet. Columbus Blue Jackets. I could see the Columbus Blue Jackets giving him a shot. Because when he went into Carolina was sort of in the same situation that Columbus was at. I mean, he really built that team into a consistent contender. So that'd be interesting. I think that's the only one too. I don't think anybody else is looking for a general manager at the moment. So if he goes to Columbus and he can get more money, and Columbus wants him, maybe he moves on. But like I said, when Dondon says you can look around and, he's always said that he's never been one to, he wouldn't block he's never one to block anybody from doing what they want to do. And that's what's kind of cool about him that way. Oh, Edmonton could be looking for one. Yeah, that's right. Edmonton could be looking for one as well. If you want to come on, Tim, let me know and I'll send you a link in your Twitter, I guess, because we don't want to do it on here. You know how that worked last time. I sent you out there. I don't even know if I can add you. Can I just add you on? No, I can't. I'd have to send you the link. So let me know if you want to come back on. Yeah, Columbus would be probably, maybe Edmonton. Maybe Edmonton. I mean, but I think they already have an inside guy that they're looking at there in Edmonton. I can't remember what his name is now, but Columbus, I think that would be a pretty good fit for him. Oh, okay. Some good news coming. Good news in what way, my friend? So yeah, just because Condon said he can look around doesn't even mean that Waddell wants to go. He just is not. He doesn't mind. You can go check it out and come back and say, no, I'm going to stay here. And he's totally cool with that. He doesn't get offended by it or anything. What else we got here? Oh, yeah, that whole Horonic thing. I don't know if you saw that interview with the presser that he did. And this, I don't know who it was, but this in the interviewer, not the interviewer, what are they called? What's wrong with my brain today? A reporter, for the love of God. He was asking him, asked him flat out, why do you think that you had such a bad second half? Were you injured or something like that? And he answered, if I knew that, I probably wouldn't have had a bad second half. That's what he said. And then, he asked him if he was injured, and he said no. And he was kind of being I guess, say pissy, but he was being short with them for sure. And then the interviewer said, we left you alone all year. Why are you having this problem? He goes, well, what do you want me to say? That's what he basically said. He goes, what do you want me to say? I'm not injured. I don't know. I kind of know. I think I know why he had such a bad second half. I think it's because when he first came all out, people were paying more attention to Hughes, and he had a lot of open ice out there. And then after he started piling up the points, the rest of the league started realizing that, first of all, he's got a huge shot, and that's the big part of how he gets most of his points. So the rest of the league just started realizing we got to pay attention to Horonic too, because he's killing us out there. And once they started doing that, he had more difficult time getting points. I mean, he's not really meant to be like a huge point producer anyways, but if you leave him alone, he'll do it. But if you pay attention to him, he's probably really only about a 30-point guy. So it's not. He had 48 points this year. We'll see if he's able to pull that off again. But if I was a betting man, I would say no, that he's probably more in the 30 to 35 point range, somewhere around there. So if I look at, let's take a look here at my good old friend Jay Fresh. I love Jay Fresh, my analytics darling. Oops, didn't work. Yeah, he's about above average offensive player and about average defensive player. He's really good on the PK. He's a good power play guy, So 5-on-5, he's about average. He's a solid power play guy and a really good PK guy. He's a good special teams guy. He's a good player. He's a good player, no doubt about that. But he's not elite. Not even close to elite. So, really he just had a season that he's supposed to have, as far as I'm concerned. What did else I talked about? Oh, Michkov. Michkov has 2 years left on his deal. I think Michkov could be used as trade bait, depending on what they want. That's the question with Vancouver. What do they want? Peterson, apparently, that's another thing that happened. Peterson or Pedersen, however they're saying it now, came out and said that he had a pretty significant knee injury, though it doesn't need surgery. Like somewhere around the 20 or 60 game mark passed. And it appears that has a lot to do with the reason why he wasn't all that effective in the playoffs. So that would make sense, I guess. But, okay, so you put Pedersen out there. Let's look at what Vancouver would need. Like everybody, they need size up front. Everybody needs that. What do you think they need? Oh, you remember Bill Ranford winning in 1990? I used to serve Bill Ranford. I was a bartender at a place called Maxwell Taylor's here in Edmonton. And he used to come in. He used to come in usually with his family, and just eat in the restaurant. But every once in a while, he'd come in for a couple pops, and so I got to serve him. I'm going to be right back. I got to go get my. I got to turn this down. The TV down. Edmonton are out shooting Dallas 21-17 now, so it looks like they're really picking it up in the third here. I got Edmonton to win this game. I'm kind of torn on the series, to tell you the honest truth, but I lean towards Dallas winning. I think this is going to be a lot closer than people think, though. It's going to be a pretty tight series. I could see it easily going 7, but I'll be right back. There you go. Sorry, I got back. Just got turned down. It's probably getting background noise there. Where was I? Yeah. What does Vancouver really need? I'd say still need defense. And I could see Mikheyev, maybe a draft pick. See what they got for picks here. I think they got most of their picks, don't they? Oh, they don't have their first. No, they don't have their next 2. They got the 2025, but they got to be thinking that they're going to be just as good next year. Like their defense isn't terrible. They have lots of guys to sign too, so it depends on which way they want to go in that direction. I have a feeling that they're not going to be signing Lindholm. He's probably going to get overpaid somewhere like Columbus or something like that. And honestly, as much as they did improve their defense, I still think they got a ways to go to be. When you're looking at, they're going to want to re-sign Zadorov, I would imagine. But ultimately, Zadorov really isn't a top 4. Neither is Carlson Soucy. You want those in your 5-6 if you're going to have a defense that's going to be competitive with the Vegases and Dallas Stars of the world. So I could see them going after like a 3-4 solid defenseman. And with that being the case, and I mean a really good one, so they're probably gonna have to pay up pretty good for it. They got about 27 million in cap space. And who do they have to sign? They got Zadorov if they want to keep him, and I imagine they do. Dakota Joshua is going to get a significant raise. And then, Ian Cole, he's a good 7 guy. Tyler Myers probably. I wouldn't be bringing Tyler Myers back. I would take like Mikheyev, one of those. What else do we go? Mikheyev, the first round draft pick in 2025, and a guy like maybe Vasily Volkozhin, because I'm pretty sure they got some young guys that should be ready to step up this year. And Podkolzin has been sort of lukewarm in his development, but he's still a lot of potential there. So there's probably teams that are probably that are going to like him. Prospect wise, they got more forward prospects. Actually, they could use some defensive prospects too. They're really Ty Mueller, like one of these guys might pan out here. So defense is really what they got to be looking at. Maybe even look at free agency. So since they have 22 million in cap space, bring Tanev back. That would be a good one. Wonder if Tanev would go back to Vancouver. There's going to be a lineup for Tanev, but if you like Vancouver a lot, you may, take sort of a semi discount to go back there. Where's the free agent option here? Oh, yeah, here it is. Unrestricted free agent. UFAs. Let's see what we can get for defensemen here. Just tell me in the chat, too, if you come up with one. In 2024, in your opinion? Yeah, you like those old Oilers teams, eh, Hugh? Yeah, they were fun to watch for sure. No doubt about that. All positions, good defense. Defense, okay. So there we go. A guy like Brady Shea wouldn't be bad. Another puck moving guy wouldn't hurt them, especially if they're able to sign both Zusi and Zadorov. He'd certainly be an upgrade over Myers. Where's he from? He's from Minnesota. He's from the United States, so I'm not sure how interested he'd be going to Canada, but he might be. Vancouver, there's a lot of Americans that do enjoy Vancouver. Alec Martinez, but I think he's pretty much at the end. I don't think he's going to be. Like I said, Tanev, Tyson Barrie, not so much. Starts to fall off there after that. Brett Pesce. Brett Pesce might not be a bad idea. Where's he from? Oh, he's another American. New York. But, I mean, if you give him the right amount of money, I like those either Shea or Pesce, both of them from Carolina. I don't know if they're going to be able to sign them. Besides that, though, Dylan DeMello. Oh, he's a very underrated defensive defenseman. He's like his defensive analytics are through the roof, and he's actually put up some pretty decent offenses of late as well. So he's from London, Ontario. It's probably why he likes to continue playing in Winnipeg, because it's pretty close to home. So I have a feeling Winnipeg will probably re-sign him, because if a guy wants to stay there and he's good defensively like DeMello is, they have a hard time getting people to go to Winnipeg. So more than likely he'll stay there. But those are a couple anyways that I would look at. I could see Shea. I could see either one of Shea or Pesci, as long as they don't mind going to Vancouver. That's the kind of guys I think they need there. I mean, Pesci is a little overrated defensively, but he's not bad. Shea is actually really upped his game on both sides of the ice. That would be the one I'd be looking at. A guy like Brady Shea there on that second pairing would be pretty freaking solid. Then you'd be looking at, assuming you sign Zadorov, then you'd be looking at Soucy and Zadorov on the third pair. Brady Shea. Oh my gosh, you'd actually still have to probably stick with Zadorov on the second pair, but you'd have Shea and Zadorov, and then Soucy and Noah Juleson, who really came around well this year, which is good for him because he went through some serious injury issues, and really had to battle to keep himself. Oh yeah, and you can get Ian Cole in there too. So, that's a much more solid defense. And then Tyler Myers walks. I'm sorry, I know he's from Vancouver and he had a better year, but he's still not great. Still not great. I would rather have a Brady Shea over him any day of the week. Let's see what other news we got here. Still watching the game. From what I can tell, it's really back and forth. In actuality, this maybe doesn't bode well for Edmonton, because this is a game that they should really probably be really like to see them dominate. I know that you would say, well, there doesn't seem to be much rust in Dallas's game, but I would say that I think Edmonton is really struggling with this. They're kind of playing a man-on-man against them. It seems to me that they're kind of struggling with it quite a bit. Dallas is just kind of having their way. It's just Skinner is playing really well, and Edmonton is out shooting them. But this is a position where Dallas hadn't played for 6 days, and Edmonton had like the perfect amount of rest and still be not rusty with 2 days. Like, this was a game that really I thought Edmonton should not just win, but win pretty convincingly. And it's not happening. Not happening. Dallas is keeping up with them pretty well. It's sort of back and forth, but they're closing it up, but once they get past the blue line, pretty good. Both teams are. But I think this is a little concerning that Edmonton isn't dominating a little more, because I think against the next game with Dallas, that extra rest and they got their legs moving is going to make it pretty tough on Edmonton, I think. So I had Dallas for the series. Mostly I just think that it's Edmonton after that 7-gamer, and Dallas with their depth and everything, they can roll 4 lines. I think Edmonton will start to fade in the latter part of this series. So, but we'll see, because I think Edmonton better win this one, even if it's tight, because I think Dallas wins the next one pretty for sure. Somebody said something there. Hey, how you doing, Daniel Barry? Yeah, sorry, I tried to get on the last 2 days, but I was really feeling under the weather. And usually, the way I get feeling better when I'm under the weather is talk hockey, but I was really under the weather. Like, it wasn't good. I actually had to go get some tests done and stuff like that. I was having some really difficult times with energy and stuff like that, but I'm feeling better now. So we'll be able to be on for a pretty good amount of time. I might stay on till 10 o'clock. I don't know. So anyways, Daniel, we've been talking just basically any guys you got to talk if there's any news that we haven't talked about or you just want to talk about, even if we maybe have talked about it before, just put something in the comment section. We'll chat away at it. Yeah, Marchand entering the final year of his contract. But I mean, Marchand's not going to resign in Boston. Not a chance. Pozo could retire, but he's not sure. He's probably going to see how his body feels in the summer. I think he's a free agent now too, so if somebody can use him on the fourth line, I imagine it's just probably going to also depend on what team. Like I'm sure he's only going to want to go to a team that really is a contender. And of those teams, most of them are pretty solid in the area that he plays. So it might be difficult for him to find a spot where with a team that can seriously be considered a contender, I would say. So this might be his last, I think. I don't think he's going to go to like Anaheim or Chicago or something like that. I doubt it anyway. Hiller getting re-signed in LA. I thought that was kind of surprising, actually. I didn't see how LA really improved all that much under Hiller. But, and what did he get? 3-year contract. They don't tell you. Well, I wonder why they don't tell you what coaches make. They always tell you what the players make, but they don't tell you what the coaches make. But he got a 3-year deal with a 4-year option, 4th-year option. We led them to a playoff berth, but they were supposed to go there. I just didn't see that much improvement. Dubois improved under him a little bit, I guess. But I didn't really get it. But maybe they give him another year and see. Maybe they saw a lot of different little things that were big to them and decided to stick with them. Maybe they just really believe in the guy. Just they brought him up from the minors, and he came up through their system and everything. DJ Smith will go be a assistant coach with the Kings. Okay, we were talking about Vancouver, and here they say they're talking about their off-season plans. Alvin most notably sharing that they're looking to bring in a top 6 winger. Well, I was talking about a defenseman. They want a top 6 winger. Oh, yeah, what am I missing there? Garland. Yeah, like I said, Mikheyev I think they've kind of soured on Mikhail there now. So I guess I could see it. Hoglander, I mean, he doesn't put up huge. Yeah, I never really look at it that way. But, I mean, that'll be interesting to see who they might bring in there for top 6. I suppose now that I think about it, Pettersson was playing with Garland and Mikhail. I mean, that's not really you're not really knocking it out of the park with those two. They'll bring Lafferty back. Actually, I guess I can kind of see that. Maybe they go after a Gunsel. In the free agent market. Kind of wingers are out there. They got 20-some million in cap space, so they got a couple people to sign, but they do have room to sign a free agent if they want. I think Gunsel would be the big fish for sure. Oh, throw a shit ton at Sam Reinhart. I mean, I don't know if he'll be able to produce like that again, but he's one of the best two-way guys out there in the league too. Maybe that's what they're going to look at. He's from Vancouver. There you go. Sam Reinhart. I don't know if Florida's going to be able to re-sign him. Let's see what their cap space is. See, this is my fun. I like doing this stuff. This is a really grinding down to like a neutral zone game here for Edmonton, Dallas. They're really all over each other, but honestly, it looks like Dallas has the better legs. I just get this feeling Dallas is going to pot one here, man. And we're going to be sitting here in overtime, which would be fine. Got a while. We can be on together going on overtime. Nothing wrong with that. I can talk hockey all night long. I do got a show to do at 10:30 though. Let's see their cap space. Florida's. They can sign Reinhart. I think it would take an overpay to get him, and you'd be taking a risk because he really never had a year. It's like contract year. He had 57 goals on a contract year. He's never come close to that before. So, those all of a sudden have a career year on contract year. That quite often doesn't translate into them being ever that again. So, but if you're looking for a top 6, can't get the thing about that, even if he regressed down to a 70-point guy, he's still an elite defensive forward, two-way forward. He's elite. So it wouldn't be too bad to have, that's for sure. See, they got Lundell. They got a lot of UFAs to sign, including Sam Reinhart. Cousins will get a raise. Lundell's going to get a bit of a raise. I don't know if I personally wouldn't get Tarasenko all that much. He's really declining fast from what I can see. I don't think he's ever going to be what he was before. And I still think that they need to fix they could use a lot of help on defense. The only thing is they're so solid in their tops. They're two-way forwards. You got Barkov, Reinhart, Bennett. Bennett's about above average. Kachuk is usually elite, but he got a down year defensively this year. Barkov is by far elite, no doubt about that. Reinhart is too, so I don't know, depending on if they keep him or not. Rodriguez is very good. Their top two-way forwards are top forward. They have the best two-way forwards in the league and it's not even close. It's not even close. But cap space, they're looking at about 19 million in cap space, with quite a few guys to sign, I guess. Or at least additions to their defense as well. I don't know if you offered him 8. He is, how old is he? 28. So if you offered him 8 for 8, see, I told you Dallas was going to score. I was pretty positive of it. They had better legs. Dallas pots one. And Sagan again. Sagan with the second goal. The only thing that's good about this for me, like I hope Edmonton wins the game, but if it goes into overtime, I got several shot props that I need to hit. Oh, what the hell? Nurse just kicked it over to what? There was no need for Nurse to do that. Now you got all the energy of the. Oh, look at this. Oh, what a save by Ottinger. Holy crap. What? That was freaking insane, man. I should be sharing this out. I forgot to share this out. Let me quickly share this out. I hope this goes to overtime. So let's get this. If you want to check me out on Facebook, I have a Facebook group called Pearlo's NHL Pearls of Wisdom. You can add yourself on there. I bring up a whole bunch of stuff. I talk on there all the time. Also, don't forget bpalpicks.com. Actually, I'll send you guys a link there. You guys can go in there and check it out for free if you want it. Here in a bit. Let's go to all my favorite places to send this out to. Ooh, I could send it out to some Oilers people. Let's do that. Anyways, Florida sort of has the cap space to sign Reinhart. My gut says that's what they'll do. They got to sign more, but then it really depends on what happens now. If they beat the Rangers, which I do believe they will. Actually, I thought it could have gone longer, but the more I look at it, I don't think that the Rangers are going to be handle that top 6. I just don't see it. They don't have, they're kind of more perimeter skill guys up front. Like Florida is a go to war type team. I think in the offseason, if the Rangers lose this, they should probably be looking at more those type of guys. Toronto can't sign for 2Z, But the thing is, it really has to come from your top players. And Zibanejad and Panarin are very skilled, great for the regular season, but it's kind of been shown over and over again that they can be shut down in the playoffs. So let me get this more people out there. I should have put Oilers live stream thing on my thing. Maybe I'll change that, but so all the Oilers fans out there know. Anyways, so I sent it out. Get more people here. More the better. More frolic. So Florida might be able to sign him, but if they don't, I mean, there's going to be a lineup of people looking for Reinhart. Vancouver, he's from Vancouver, though. That's the thing. That's the in that they might actually have. Florida's a cool place to live. I don't know Reinhart personally, of course, so I don't know if he's the kind of guy that would want to play in his hometown. Some guys don't. Some guys don't like the idea of playing in their hometown. They prefer to be away from that. But if he is, that might be the in that gets him over there. I don't know if he would go too many other places unless somebody just blows the crap out of the doors. I know the team that needs him the most would be a team like Columbus. They could use a two-way guy in a big bad way. And they've been known to do that sort of thing. Nashville, guys like that. But so, anyways, we got that off of NHL Pro Hockey Rumors, where they said they were going to be looking for a top six. Jake Gunsel, but I mean, Jake Gunsel's a guy that wants the puck. He's sort of the same kind of guy as Pettersson. I don't think it would be a terrible idea, but besides that, they may have to look at the trade route because I don't think there's all that much out there. Yeah, we're going to overtime. Let me just look at left wingers first. Steven Stamkos. He's from Toronto, but I don't know if he'd want to go all the way out west. And I don't think Steven Stamkos is going to get signed though. I think he will go somewhere. And I've heard some serious rumblings that Chicago is a team that would be ponying up a lot. They would like somebody to mentor a guy like Bedard. And I just got this gut feeling you might be able to convince Stammer to do that. I mean, that would be a big challenge for him. And he'd probably get quite a bit of term and money on that as well. They have a lot of cap space. And they've already known to throw money at Perry and Foligno, character guys to build around that young team and stuff like that. And honestly, I don't think Chicago is going to be rebuilding as long as people think they are. You got Bedard there. I don't think they're just going to keep on sucking and picking up draft picks for the next 4 or 5 years. I think that they'll grab this whatever player that they get in this one, and I hear it's going to be Demidov, pretty likely. Highly skilled Russian kid. They do need more forward depth, no doubt about that. and maybe one more year. But I think after that, they're going to start freaking adding, maybe even sooner, maybe even as soon as next year. And if they could convince them, like, hey, you know what, this isn't a long-term rebuild. We're, we in the wheelhouse of your contract, we expect to be contenders. You know, you never know. I could definitely see that, but I don't think it would be Vancouver. So, you know, you got guys like Anthony Mantha. Adam Henrique would be an interesting add. I mean, he's a fantastic two-way player. I don't know how much he helps Pedersen all that much, and I think maybe Teuvo Teravainen. If he can not get injured, he's had injury problems most of his career, but that's the kind of guy. He's a really good playmaker. That's the kind of guy I think that would complement Pedersen pretty well. Besides that, I don't see our. Oh, that's just. I'm just looking at left wingers, so we'll look at the right wingers here in a second. Is it a left winger or a right winger that they'd be looking for, or does it matter? I don't think it matters. Wouldn't matter if it was a left or right winger. So, you know, Gunsel, if you'd probably have to pay up quite a bit, but Teravainen, you wouldn't have to pay up quite as much. I don't know. I just think he's more of a playmaker for a guy like Pedersen, who's got that wicked shot, and really it hasn't played with a seriously good playmaker his whole career. Teravainen isn't elite, but he doesn't really. They don't really need to be elite with a guy like Pedersen just to be able to do it. And you know, Connor Garland. I mean, God love him, man. He's a gritty, grindy, can put up points, but he's a go to the net, muck it up type guy. Ilya Mikheyev is just a perimeter dude who quite often is just not in the right spots to get the puck over to Pedersen. So I kind of see where they're talking about there. That, I mean, if you can't get a guy like Reinhart would be my first choice, no doubt about it. If you could get Reinhart, I'd be all over that to play with Pedersen. Now you're looking at a pretty awesome top six. You got Nils Hoglander, who's only 23. He had 24 goals this year as a 23-year-old, and he improved immensely this year. With Miller, and Brock Besser was a freaking beast, absolute beast this year. He just took his game to a whole new level. And you got a little grinder guy with Pedersen and Reinhart. It's looking like a pretty solid top six, man. Pretty solid top six right there. And then, like I said, use Mikheyev to add maybe a pick or something like that to grab one more defenseman. And, you know, this lineup's looking pretty good. Pretty good. Not too bad at all. I would try to, I think I would look at improving their fourth line too. I think the fourth line is pretty weak. You got guys like Archie Baines and Nils Alman, and Linus Carlson. I don't even know who that is. But you could re-sign Lafferty, I guess, if you can. I get a feeling though he's going to get overpaid, and if you're going to sign a guy like Reinhart, you might not have room for a guy like Lafferty. You probably get Bluger back at a decent rate. And then, of course, Dakota Joshua. Yeah, you throw Dakota Joshua in there, he's going to get paid quite a bit as well. But if you could find a way to keep Dakota Joshua, now you're looking at a really solid. You're starting to look at a more solid third line. And yeah, something like that. You're looking at righties. Whoops. Yeah, where's my free agent? There we are. Look at righties. I know I've been talking about Vancouver a lot here, but to me, they're the one of the most interesting teams out there. I'm also going to be talking about Colorado. And if you want, like in the live chat, tell me if you want me to talk about your team or what you think is going to happen or what not, what may happen, or if you want a team that you want me to take a look at. For righties, you got Jonathan Marchessault. So I can't see him not re-signing in Vegas. So I think you can pretty much take him off the list. You already have Reinhart, like I said. Tarasenko, I personally am not a Tarasenko fan anymore. He doesn't drive the line anymore. He more or less has to. He's like a complementary player that is really kind of a one-hit wonder now with a really solid shot if you can get into the right places. He's horrible defensively. Yeah, he wouldn't be on my list for sure. Tyler Johnson, I don't think he's going to turn the needle all that much. David Perron's too old. Victor Olofsson sucks. Yeah, you look at the right side. A guy like Victor Arvidsson would be all right, but I mean, there's another guy that can't stay out of the freaking. You can't stay out of being injured. Like he's injured all the time. Tyler Toffoli, they already had him. I don't know if he'd be interested going back there, but that would be somebody that you could really that I would be looking at for sure. No doubt about that. Jake DeBrusk is a free agent this year. I mean, it wouldn't be too bad, I guess. A little bigger body up there. He's from Edmonton. He's from Alberta. So I wouldn't doubt that Edmonton will be looking at a guy like Jake DeBrusk this year to fill out that their third line, our second line, or he can play up and down the lineup. He can play right wing and left wing. I would not doubt at all if Edmonton throws some money at DeBrusk and he goes back home. He's a homer type guy, and his dad works for the Oilers and all that. I could definitely see that happening. Besides that, there's not much that's going to be like a top six guy. Coolman. Yeah. Those are pretty much your options right there if you're looking at the right side. And for me, it would be Sam Reinhart. I would absolutely love to have Sam Reinhart on my team. He's one of my favorite players in the league. I don't know how Florida would have to do something to replace him, but maybe they would look at a guy like Toffoli or whatever. But it'll be interesting because, again, in Florida, you have that better tax situation. I don't know if money is the biggest how much money is a factor for Sam Reinhart. But if it is, he'll stay in Florida because Vancouver's tax system is outrageous. Like he'd be giving up freaking 45% of his salary just in taxes to go to Vancouver. So. If clots don't happen, Vancouver is here tonight. You think that Besser made that big of a deal? I think Vancouver just burnt out. I think they just burnt out. Hi, Gordon, by the way, if that's how you say your name. I think Vancouver just burnt out. They looked pretty gassed, and they were trying to slow down the game. I think more than Besser. I love Besser, by the way, and maybe you're right. Maybe if Besser's there, he was kind of it's not just about like his scoring ability. This year, Besser really almost became the captain of the team. Like he was their freaking spirit animal, man. when you saw him on the ice this year, he looked like he was going to war every night. It was nice to see. His compete level just went through the roof this year after getting over all that problems with his father and stuff like that, because his father passed away. And Rick Tocchet, he played like Rick Tocchet used to look like that every game. So you could say that Rick Tocchet kind of freaking acted as the winger whisperer in his ear, saying, "You know what? You think your dad would want you moping around like this? Do it for your dad." But he had a fantastic year. He turned into, he was a guy that I wasn't really a fan of. Like the first couple of years, you could see he had a shot. He was his first couple of years there. He looked like he was going to be an absolute beast, and then his old man passed away, and it really affected him, like deeply affected him. But you could be right. If Besser was there for that last game, maybe he might be able to turn it around. But honestly, Pettersson's knee injury, I think was, they might have been able to do it if Pettersson didn't have that knee injury. But with him with that knee injury, to me, they kind of played a fairly slow game. Like they looked like they were just trying to slow down the game and try to win games like 2-1, stuff like that. But it'll be interesting. Well, we just talked about it. Like, imagine if they got a guy like Reinhardt in the offseason. Like, holy shit. That team could be pretty damn solid. A guy like Brady Shea, Carolina, or something like that for the defense. Now you're looking at a real serious contender, I would think. Pettersson gets back to being Pettersson. They're going to be in there for sure. I did pick them to make the playoffs this year. I was one of the few people that picked them to make the playoffs. And the reason why that is, well, I thought the main reason why they didn't make the playoffs last year is their goaltending was ass. That was really the main reason. And Demko was supposed to be back for the whole year. That was one reason. And I just had a lot of respect for Rick Tocchet for what he did in Arizona. When he was there in Arizona, he brought teams to the playoffs that had no business being there whatsoever. Like, seriously, not good teams. Not great. Average teams, below average teams. They really had very little offense. They had a fairly good defensive core, actually. And Darcy Kemper was playing really well back then. Part and parcel, I would imagine. I always said, people say, show me a good coach and I'll show you a good goaltender. But from what I've seen, show me a great coach makes goaltenders great. They know how they tick. Tortorella, everywhere he goes, the goaltender, whoever is there, gets better. Rick Tocchet seems to have that, although it's a little less sample size because he was in Arizona. When he was in Arizona, Kemper has never been as good as he was when he was in Arizona. And Demko was already good, so there's not much you can do about that. But look at the kid Sheloffs all of a sudden. He went through. Sheloffs just took off this year to the point where, with Demko's injury issues and stuff like that, I think there could end up being a bit of a goaltending controversy there. Hey Rico, how you doing, buddy? You can't come on tonight. You're just dropping in to say hi. This has been like the Vancouver Canucks show. We've been talking because they're like their most interesting team. Although I do want to get into something interesting that I heard about the Colorado Avalanche and Nietzsche's. from Carolina, which I cannot believe they're floating this idea out there. Unless they're thinking of ponying up to Gunsel and letting Nietzsche go. But, maybe Nietzsche just wants way more than they think he's worth or something like that. But I'm hearing that Colorado is like, if he goes on the market, Colorado's all over it. That makes sense. I mean, that would be, Nietzsche is a very good two-way player, I do believe. Before I say that, let me make sure let's make sure. Oh my gosh, Edmonton gets a penalty. Sorry, he's not. He's not a good two-way player. He was better last year. He's playing much more offensive role. Probably, maybe it's just the role. I think he has it in him to be a better two-way player, but he's not great two-way. But Colorado doesn't even really play that type of game anyways, honestly. Like, they're mostly balls out offensively. He would fit in that Colorado lineup pretty damn sweet, though. Did you hear about that, Rico? Marty Nietzsche has been allowed to, go out and see what kind of money he can get everywhere else. But again, this is Tom Dundon, and he says that to everybody. He wants everybody to be happy. He doesn't want you to be there. He doesn't want you to be tied in there. And he's got his number, and that's going to be his number. And if you go somewhere else and you get a couple million more, oh my God, it was a 4-minute power play. It was a must have been a high sticking ball. I've been talking with you guys so much and looking at Cap Friendly, I'm not paying attention to the game as much as I should. Oh, Skinner just robs him blind, man. Wow. Let me see the replay on that. Oh, it's off the post. Okay. That's pretty lucky. Before I do this, I should probably look at the cap space if I think I'm going to add Marty Nietzsche all of a sudden. But, I mean, it's pretty heavy rumor already. They got to sign Middlestat. I heard they want to sign Duran. I have a feeling, though, they're going to run out of room for him. I think they need to add more to their defense. I don't think Sean Walker and Jack Johnson's probably time to retire. So they probably want to add to their defense as well. And they're only going to have $15 million to do it. Kind of tough. What other could they shed to get Amichis? They don't have too many top end. And then Landeskog could be coming back, apparently. So, tough situation for sure. You don't want to trade from your defense. You probably try to add to your defense. But I imagine they do want to do something to that top six. So it's going to take some freaking fancy dancing for them to add to this roster. They're looking to fill out their bottom four, and I know they love Jakob Trenin. And Duhan, like they like all those guys. They don't make huge, but I think Trenin especially would probably be up for a raise here. How much did he? Where are you, Yakov Trenin? Where did you go? There you are. What's he making? He's making 1.7. I don't know. Yeah, I guess he probably won't get a raise. But that's a lot to have to sign. You get Marty Nietzsche is, I think he's making somewhere around 5 million right now, if I remember correctly. He is making, or he was making. Oh, he was only making 3.5. But he's going to be going. He's going to be going between 5 and 6. I think he's going to get a big raise. You got 15 million. You sign him. You got a couple other guys to sign, and then you're basically coming back with the same defense unless you decide to make a trade. And usually you can't make trades for, do they have their draft picks this year? I would imagine they traded their draft picks, but no, it's Carolina, Colorado, Colorado. Yeah, they got the 2024 first, and then nothing after that. They got a 2025. They've pretty much thrown all that away. So it'd be kind of tough to make a trade, and they're really, it's like people don't talk about it, but they're pretty thin in their system. They got one of the worst prospect systems in the league. So it's getting kind of dicey there in Colorado, man. However, to get a guy like Martin Nietzsche, you're here to win now. I guess you wouldn't really have much of a choice but to throw up a first, and I don't know who else back, but you got to improve that depth. You put another player back, and now you're not improving that depth all that much. I'm just not. Is Nietzsche a free agent? Is that why they're telling him to look around? I guess if he's a free agent, they wouldn't have to trade anybody away. But I still think they would have to prove their defense. It's going to be tight. They're going to be capped out. There's no doubt about that, one way or another. And if Landeskog comes back, I mean, then what do you do? Yeah, it's getting dicey in Colorado, man. They're having real depth issues. But if Landeskog does come back and you do manage to get Nietzsche's, yeah, you got a pretty freaking solid top six there. Lehkonen, McKinnon, Rantanen, Landeskog. How good is he going to be? Hasn't played in like 2 years. and the injury itself, and Nietzsche's. Now we got the shots. Should go check out to see if I got my shot props. Wow, they killed off that penalty kill. David can't get it. Just one sec. I'll be right back, guys. Oh, wait, there's something burning. Probably from outside. There we go. I'm back. So, yeah, anyways, Nietzsche's to Colorado is something that's out there, but that is a lot of cap space that they got to finagle around. Sure would look good if it did happen, though. But that being said, yeah, I was going to look at Carolina is a free agent. Or Nietzsche is a free agent, I imagine. It could be the only reason why that discussion would be out there, except for if they were looking, if they would have had to trade him. Because I never heard all year that he was a free agent, which makes it even more interesting why Carolina would tell him to go look around. Where is his freaking contract? Yeah, I guess he is a free agent. No. Come on, Oil. Starting to get pretty back and forth here. I don't know. What do you guys think? Dallas looks like they got the better legs here, man. I know one thing. I'm all over Dallas in the next game. Whoever wins this. Something's burning out. Like it's actually like smells like electrical around my house. It's pretty thick too. Actually, that's why I got up. I wanted to make sure nothing was burning in the house. It's that thick. Oh, 2-on-1. Oh, they got back. You got to say the Oilers are getting back, man. But man, oh man, are they burning a lot of energy. Like both of these teams are burning a lot of energy. Pace is like pretty damn high. When you get down to if this goes down to like 6 or 7, just take unders every single time because they're not going to have any legs left. Just gotta pay attention to the game here for a bit. Yeah, Dallas is getting more of the quality chances for sure. They're getting more of the odd man rushes, all that kind of stuff like that. As much as I hate to say it because I had Edmonton to win this game, I don't think they're going to unless they get a lucky one. Because I mean they're getting outskated, and Edmonton that's their whole game. If they're getting outskated, they don't really have all that much to. They don't really have all that much to fall back on. They don't have a lot of depth, you know. I mean, they don't have as much depth as Dallas, that's for sure. Oh, almost got one, but Ekholm was way deep. Now he's got to get back. Oh, he does. Oh, I'm pretty sure I got my Hyman over shots prop. That's for sure. Just taking a look at that right now. Seeing if I got. David still only has 2 shots. I really thought, like, with Ropo Hintz not being in there, I think McDavid must have some sort of a wrist injury or something. I need him to get 2 more shots. Hopefully, this goes like several overtimes and he ends up pot one. But yeah, I got Hyman over shots. That was easy. That was an easy one. On that rush, but the Oilers do come back and they are being hard on the stick. I just think that they're burning a crap load of energy here. And I think that now the rest that Dallas has becomes more of an advantage. Like you might be rusty the first game. Obviously, they're not all that rusty. But as the series goes on, after getting those 6 days off, you're much more fresh. Especially after a game like this, where the Oilers are playing really hard on the stick, And if the Oilers lose this one, it's going to be kind of demoralizing. I just think win or lose, Dallas is going to win the next one. I would even almost say fairly handily. Oh, didn't turn my camera on? Jeez. How come it's not popped? Oh, I see. Yeah, I did. That's fine. Even this game, like Dallas has got their legs now. There's no rust. They're back in the groove. And the Oilers only had 2 days off after a very tough Vancouver. Oh shit, no way. And McDavid. Oh no, that was before. Okay, good. Well, that's part of the reason why he's only got 2 shots. He was in the box for 4 minutes. I don't know. The Oilers' legs look heavy, man. And Ottinger looks solid. There's no rust in Ottinger, that's for sure. Gotta remember that. Certain goaltenders, they don't, even if you have a long layoff, they don't show a lot of rust. And then some goaltenders, trying to think of who that might be, like Bobrovsky has a tendency. Although he didn't look bad this last time. But he did look bad the first game after when Boston basically only had 1 day off and they won the first game. Bobrovsky didn't look good there, and he had lots of rest. And in the past, I've noticed that with Bobrovsky. He's not a good goaltender for getting rest. Oh, all right. So we talked about Colorado. What else do we got? Oh yeah, I forgot. You're looking at Colorado. The depth chart. I mean, Nichushkin hopefully will come back. For the love of God, man. Addiction is a bitch. Uh, what's cool about it though is Colorado's standing behind them all the way. Like they're not saying, "Okay, that's it. They did it twice. Then we don't want you anymore." I think that's pretty cool. Um, they really understand addiction. Addiction is a disease, and it's it takes sometimes from some people more than others a crap load of treatment, and to keep on backing him even though he let the team down twice, you know, I think that's pretty solid. So, if Nichushkin comes back, all right, now that wouldn't, they're not showing that. It's like 15 million, and then Nichushkin's making 6, I believe. So all of a sudden, how do you get a guy like Nichus? Unless you make some serious trades somehow. And I don't know where those trades would come from, to tell you the honest truth. They're already pretty thin on defense. They're going to have to add to the defense. Yeah, I can't see it happening. Pace is slowing down a little bit now on both sides, actually. Which I think is the advantage of Dallas. Holy crap, what a one-timer that was. That was freaking close. I think I'll go to the end of this period and then I'm going to have to sign off. Got another show to do. So come on, Edmonton, pot one in this period. I don't think they're going to, though. I think Dallas looks way stronger than Edmonton right now. It's just a matter of time. See, they just dumped it in the corner there. They had nobody down deep. If you're going to do that, you might as well chuck it at the net. You never know. You might fluke one out. I don't understand why you're going to dump it down in the corner where a guy's going to be one man against 3. They talk about face-offs all the time. And face-offs aren't as important as people make them out to be. Oh, it's over. Oh my god, man. Oh my god. How does McDavid not get hyped on that fucking shot? Are you there is something wrong with his wrist, man. There is definitely something wrong with his wrist. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. He's got a badly sprained wrist or something. No doubt about it. Look at the way he shot that. Tweeting that out. There's no way. If you saw the way he did that, he did not have. He might even have a broken wrist. He had no flexibility in that wrist whatsoever. He couldn't get, like, if you don't have flexibility in your wrist, it's pretty hard to get a puck up. So that's why his shot totals are down. He's not getting goals. I don't know if it's broken or what. I don't know, but something seriously wrong there. Oh, right. What the heck was that pass? Pass to nowhere. Yeah, that's what I kind of thought. Like, I thought that I was pretty sure. Like, I mean, it's not like I knew and nobody didn't know, but there was a lot of speculation that there was an injury with McDavid. But that really showed me right there that he's got a wrist issue. And I figured it was likely a wrist or something like that. I mean, he wasn't getting the shots that he normally gets. You can pretty much go. I think it was like 3 or 4. He was getting 4 to 5 shots at least a game up until like 3 or 4 games ago, and then he was only getting two. That's so somewhere there. Somebody got slashed or something. Well, he did shoot that. Got that one away not too bad. Apparently, Hintz will be back next game, they're saying. And he has some sort of a wrist injury. Must be a pretty good wrist injury. I don't know how they get these guys back on the ice. Oh, starting to fade. I gotta stay up another half an hour to do my show. Ooh, Aqua Kulak. I don't know. I'm not getting that empty netter by McDavid. My gosh. And like I said, it is Edmonton doesn't looks like they're losing their legs a lot more than Dallas does. Can we go back to a second overtime? There hasn't been. I think there's only been one other second overtime so far in this playoffs. Just as I say that now, for sure, Dallas and Paula. Oh, 2-on-2. It just looks like Edmonton is just barely holding on here, man. They're playing hard, like super hard, but they look like they're just gonna fall down any minute. And they're playing Brown in their bottom lines a lot more right now. Come on. Well, here we go. Edmonton's doing a lot of those long passes. You get some sustained pressure there, I guess. Oh shoot, the stream. There was a stream. Yeah. All right, at the end of this period, we're gonna end her. It was great talk. It was a great stream. I'm glad I'm feeling good again. Got my energy back. It's nice. All right. Thanks for coming on, everybody. Some of you guys stayed on the whole time while I was just rambling on. It was great. Let's see if I have time to do it tomorrow. No, actually, tomorrow night I won't be able to do a stream tomorrow night. Saturday night I might be able to, though. So be looking out for that. Have a great day, everybody, and thanks for coming on. Enjoy the rest of the hockey. I'll talk to you possibly Saturday. Okay, bye.